those people that called missionary that came here, they were not yeye people. They were people who were properly trained before they sent them onto mission fields. They had solid education. If we look at some of the things they do, we just use a broad paintbrush and say it's what do you call it now? That they intentionally did. No. Some of it is their ignorance too. But what they came to communicate, they must be able to speak to the people in their language. There was a lady called Anna Killam. She was a Quaker, came with the CMS in Sierra Leone, and all her ambition was to set up education in the language of the people. So in Sierra Leone, they now look around, they found that the largest number of ex-slaves, emancipados there, were Yoruba people. So she decided to now learn the Yoruba language and set up classes for women in Yoruba. And the first day that she taught the women in Yoruba, she went back home and wrote in her diary, Lord, let now thy servant depart in peace, for my eyes have seen the promise. That she has achieved what she came to this world to achieve. That was the kind of enthusiasm with which those people took our languages. A lot of all what our neo-intellectuals say about they didn't translate engineering books into Yoruba. The Bible was translated in the Yoruba Bible Society of Nigeria. What is the Society of Engineers doing? So, now to go directly to the question, these people were not, they studied the language, they knew the language, then they discovered that there are certain elements of semiotics that these people are using to communicate deep information. They are using to code information because the value of information is determined to a large extent by the ease with which a deserving recipient gets it and the difficulty by which an undeserving recipient gets it. So when you have a coding system, you have a system that can put language in a form where those who deserve to understand understand easily, and those who do not deserve to understand will just be hearing and hearing. They will not perceive. So those people, they knew that Aroko is very, very powerful encryption system, probably equal in value or probably even better in value than some of the encryption systems that they used to fight the Second World War, for which people like Alan Turing became famous. So they knew that whatever the people used to communicate, there were about 3 or 4 slave riots in which the communication, that is in Americas, in the middle, Haiti, where the communication, the arrangements for the riots were conducted with talking drums. And because it could go long distance, so when the riot starts, then they send to another slave camp, please send some armed men. Say, we can't send our own to her side. They say, how did these people communicate? And from one slave camp to the other, they didn't allow movement. But these people will sit down at night, they'll be dancing, they'll be beating drums. They didn't know that they were talking to the other people. So day, we will strike at so time. So there was a time that they banned the use of drums. They started knowing that it was drums they were using. At the time they said if the drum is If it is vigorous, it is war. If it is gentle, it is naming ceremony. They didn't know it is language, it's a day.
Then.
So, and look, all those of us in Nigeria, 500 and something languages, only one is not a tone language, which means they can all, to some extent, be spoken with drums. And we abandon all that. Yes, just imagine how stupid it looks. Something that I argued that before Alexander Graham Bell, talking drums must have been the fastest means of telecommunications. It was faster than homing pigeons, faster than Pony Express, faster than human beings carrying the messages, to the extent that in those days, in colonial days in Nigeria, when the DO or one of these officers is going from one place to other to go and do something, those who know will have signaled, it's coming, oh. And they were surprising them. Why? How do they know? How do they know? There was a time in Lagos too when they banned drumming, ostensibly for reasons of noise pollution. But those who know that there's a lot behind it. So those people, not only did they understand Aroko, they understood the Eno of Bata, because there is a whole elaborate language under this, apart from the Shagye that all these Fuji people play, there's Eno Bata, which is fundamental communication system.